right? And so my feeling is, and Mary's feeling is too, actually, that once we focus on truth, no matter what, we will no longer be invested in how people perceive this truth, nor will we even invested in our own safety. And when we get to the point where we're no longer invested in our own safety, then we'll have dealt with fear. And my feelings for you girls are, you've had a terribly fearful life, perpetrated by parents upon you, and as a result of that, you need to deal with that fearful life, the fears you have. The way people manipulate you is through your fear, not through any other thing. They can't manipulate you if they really love you. You see, you think about it with your own children. Do you want to control them if you love them? See, a lot of parents go, no, I can see them making a mistake. I can see they're going to make a mistake. Now, if you love your child, wouldn't you allow your child to make a mistake? If you now have to browbeat them, abuse them, control them and manipulate them so they don't make a mistake, I feel you're making a much bigger mistake. You'd be better off letting them make the mistake and learn through that experience if they don't listen to you just from a chat, you know? But the problem is on the planet is that we have so many rigid controls upon us. We have learnt to become a controlled society because you see, initially the what do you call it? The justification for it is that if we didn't have a controlled society, then everything would be lawless. Well, no, I put to you that the only way to have a safe society is to have a loving society. Not by laws, but actually people feel love. You know, how effective are laws to create love? There are literally thousands of family laws, and yet every single day on the news you find even murders of family members murdering family members. So the law didn't stop them from doing it. The only thing that's going to stop them from doing it is love. That's the only thing that's going to stop them from doing it. Yeah. Experience. The only way that in the end you will ever know truth is by personally experiencing that truth. If you allow that process to continue, you will come to know all truth. But because a lot of people want to know right now, right or wrong, they don't understand that the unfolding of truth is the way in which we learn truth. And in that process, because they don't understand, they're making often a choice on the side of error, because they just don't want to go through the process of a slow unfolding of truth. And I feel that's one of the main problems on the planet. Many of us have this from an emotional injury from our childhood, ironically, because in our childhood, when we got things wrong, it was very frequently associated with punishment. So for example, if I made a choice or a decision that was wrong when I was a child and it was in disagreement or disharmony with my parent, the parent would often at least get angry with me and sometimes even carry it right the way through into violence towards me. And what that does is it creates in me then this feeling that I'm not allowed to get anything wrong again. Otherwise I'm going to get hurt. And the problem is that investigation of truth means you've got to investigate between things. You've got to investigate things, and it is a slow unfolding. So if you're addicted to having solid truth given to you just there and then, and you're not prepared to go through the unfolding of truth, then it's going to be very, very hard for you to actually learn truth. So that's what I feel is happening for many people on the planet, where they've got this learned response from our parents that unless we get it right now, we're not allowed to make a mistake. If we make a mistake, we're going to get punished. And so when somebody comes along to a session like this, for example, and then they tell their friends, oh, I went along and this guy said he's Jesus. What? Why'd you go along there? Straight away the punishment is present, and that punishment connects you with punishment associated with your childhood. It straight away brings up all those fears, and now you don't want to investigate, when investigation is really just a slow unfolding of truth over a period of time. And you can't expect to absorb all the truths of the universe in one sitting. If anybody could have done that, then it would already have been done. There's 6 billion people on the planet. Surely one of them would have done it sooner or later. So the reality is that unfolding of truth is what we have to expect. Yeah.
I think it's beautiful though, because I feel that that's a part of God teaching us how to be humble. Like, you can't go into that process in an arrogant place of I'm going to look good the whole way through this. I'm going to never, you have to be humble enough to experiment and go, oh, that didn't work, or and through that process you learn to feel yourself more and learn to recognise that, hey, this is my brother and my sister, and no one's got a higher status. We're all in this process, a humbling process to get to know God. I think that's beautiful.
And my personal experience has been that if you take away all the ridicule and all the anger of other people, the actual process of making mistakes and finding out truth in the process is actually quite enjoyable. But if you then add in the ridicule and the anger of other people, now it becomes very unenjoyable. And to me, that's the problem, is that if we stop ridiculing each other for making mistakes, and we stop ridiculing each other for investigating truth, and we stop ridiculing each other, then in the end, the capacity of the human race to grow more rapidly exponentially increases. Because at the moment, you've got to put up with the ridicule of everyone before you discover something new. And then all of a sudden people start accepting it only if it's proven 100% and so forth. Whereas we could be in this process as a human race where we could be discovering new thing after new thing after new thing if there wasn't this huge resistance emotionally to doing so. So what was your question?
My question is,